Solving a three-variable systems with a calculator. That is what we're going to discuss today. So please add this to your table of contents as well as titling your next page. So solving three-variable systems with a calculator. Now, traditionally, we would be using the TI Nspire. Unfortunately, we do not have those available at this time. So we are actually going to be using a TI-84. And so you have access to one online, and here's how to access the calculator. You're going to open CMS from your Northside portal. When you enter CMS, you'll see a box underneath your name that says test code. You're going to enter the test code CALC, C-A-L-C, all caps, and you're going to press Start Test. When you press Start Test, you will see something like this, Start Test Now, and you will see a blank question that says click on the calculator icon above. All this is for you to access a calculator. So if we click this button, a calculator pops up. Now, if you close this window, you actually close out the calculator. So we can't close the window. So what we can do is we can actually make sure this is minimized. We can move the window. And we can kind of shrink this guy down so that we can still see the calculator and our work. So you're going to have to kind of play with the sizing, shrink this down. We shrink this guy down. That way we can play with the sizing, that we can see everything that we need to see. Okay, so that is how you access your calculator when you need it. You don't need it for a lot of things. We do need it, however, to solve systems with a calculator. So let's talk about how to actually do that now that you can access the calculator. So for example 1, we are going to solve the system x minus 5y minus 7z equals 3, x plus 2y plus z equaling 0. And we're going to solve a third equation, negative 2x minus 2y minus z equals negative 1. So the way we're going to use our calculators, we're actually going to use the matrix in the calculator. So the first thing we need to do is write this as a matrix. So write as matrix. That's our step 1. So when you write as a matrix, remember, make sure everything's in standard form, which we do have all these in standard form, and you're going to use the coefficients. So 1, negative 5, negative 7, 3, 1, 2, 1, 0, negative 2, negative 2, negative 1, negative 1. Okay, so now we need to enter this into the calculator. So to enter the matrix into the calculator, here are your steps. So enter into calculator. First thing we're going to do is we're going to press the button that says second. So when you press this second button right here, when you press second, what it does is it allows all of the blue text to be active. So I'm going to press second, which makes this turn into like a little up arrow. And then I'm going to click this button here that says matrix in blue letters. So I'm going to click that. And I get a couple options. So let's write that down. So we did second, we did matrix, and now we have options. So the first thing we need to do is we need to actually enter this matrix into the calculator. So we're going to scroll over to edit. That is our next step. So use your arrows and scroll to edit. So second matrix, edit. Okay. You can click on any of these, A, B, or C. I'm just going to click on A. And it asks you for a number and then X and then a number. How you read that is 1 by 1. That's how you read that. So this is the size of the matrix. So for the size of your matrix, so matrix size, it's always rows first by columns. So rows are left to right. So there's 1, 2, 3 rows. So 3 rows by 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our size. So in our calculator, we're going to enter in the size. So our size is 3. You can press the enter button to move 3 by 4 and press enter. And notice now your cursor is actually in the matrix. So now that we have created our matrix, actually that's step 2, enter dimensions, enter the size. So in our case, I'm going to put rows by columns, R by C. Now we can enter in the numbers, and these numbers are actually called elements. Enter the elements, E-L-E-M-E-N-T-S. Basically, those are the numbers that are in your matrix. And again, you can use enter to move left to right. So we're going to start in this top left-hand corner, and we're going to enter in this way, and then the second row, and then the third row. So we're going to press 1, enter, -5, enter, -7, enter, 3, and then it knocks you down to the second row. So now start row 2. 1, 2, 1, 0, and third row, -2, -2, -1, and -1. Enter. Okay. Now you have entered the matrix into the calculator. So what we're going to do is we have to quit back to the main screen. So you're going to press that second button again, and you're going to find the words quit in blue letters. So we're going to press second here, and then quit right next to it. And now we get back to the main screen. Third step is we actually need to solve this matrix. So now we're going to calculate the solution. Calculate the solution. So the first thing to calculate solution is you're going to do that second button and then matrix again. So let's do that. So we're going to do second and then matrix. But this time we're going to move over to math using our right arrow. So second matrix and then math. So you want to scroll all the way down until you find RREF and an open parenthesis. I do believe that is letter choice B. So we're going to use our down arrow here, and we're going to scroll all the way down until we hit RREF, and we're going to press enter. So let's move this guy over a little bit so we can actually have that written down. So we're going to do RREF, and then we're going to press enter. Okay. Now, that's what it wants us to do, so that's how we solve it. That's that reduced row echelon form. That's going to give us our solution. Now we need to select the matrix. We're going to go back to second and matrix. And then we're going to stay on the names column this time. So let's do that. So we're going to do second, matrix, and then we're going to stay here on the names. So now we edited number 1, letter A, in step 2. So we're going to press enter on step A, and it's going to enter it in for us. So second matrix names, then we're going to pick A, and then we have to make sure we close out the parenthesis. So you're going to click the little close parenthesis here, and then all you need to do is press enter, and you will get a solution. So now here's how to read what pops up. So really quickly, let's write down the matrix that comes up. So the matrix that comes up is 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, -0.56. I'm going to round it off to 2 places. 0, 0, 1, and then 0.11. So if we remember how to put our variables back, this is the x column, this is the y column, this is the z's. So what this gave us was this gave us our variables. 1x is equal to, because remember this is that little pretend equal to sign, 1. Y is equal to -0.56, and z is equal to 0.11. There is your solution. I can even write that as a coordinate point. -1, -0.56, 0.11. That is the solution to this system. So these steps are going to take a little while. So what we're going to do today is we're going to practice these steps over and over and over again. Let's try another one. So let's look at example 2. So let's solve the system. -x plus 3y equals 5z plus 9. Then we have 2x minus 4y plus 15z equals 3. 4y plus 3z equals 6x. So these are not in standard form. So we need to make these guys in standard form. So I need to move this 5z over. So I'm going to have to subtract it. So we're going to have -x plus 3y minus 5z equals 9. Now the first one's ready to go. The second equation is already good. 2x minus 4y plus 15z equals 3. And the third equation, I need to move that x over by subtracting 6x. 6x plus 4y plus 3z, and now there's nothing left on the right, so we put a 0. let's put our equations into the matrix. So we're going to have -1, 3, -5, 9, 2, -4, 15, 3, and -6, 4, 3, and 0. Now we're ready to put this into our calculator. So we're going to go to second and matrix. We need to actually edit the matrix first. We're going to go to edit. Now you can use B or C or D. It doesn't matter, but I'm just going to reuse A. I'm going to reuse A over and over just because. It's still a 3x4, so I can just press enter and enter to get me down into my matrix. And now let's enter these new numbers. -1, enter, 3, enter, -5, enter, 9, enter. Now we're down to second row. 2, enter, -4, enter, 15, oopsie, delete, clear is what you need. Where's I at? I was on the third one. 15, there we go, and 3, and -6, and 4, 3, and 0. Press enter to make sure it goes in there. Now is where we have to go back to our calculator screen, so we're going to do second and quit. Now we need to actually calculate the solution, so that's that RREF. So we're going to go to second and matrix again, but now we're going to go to the math all the way down to letter B, which is RREF. Make sure you do the double R, not just the single R. So for letter B, I want RREF. Now I need my matrix, so second matrix. I'm still using A because that was the one that I used again. Close the parenthesis and press enter. So what the calculator shows us is 100.54, 010, 7.1, 001, 1.4. You do not need to write this on your paper. I do need this matrix. You do not need this one. This is purely for your notes. So we have a solution of the x is, I put the decimal in the wrong place. Make sure you're copying down your numbers right. 5.4, 5.4. Then the x is 7.1, and the z is 1.4. Okay. Let's do a couple more. This is just all about how to plug these numbers into your matrix. So last example. This is going to be kind of a weird one. Example 3. -6x minus 2y plus 2z equals -8. 3x minus 2y minus 4z equals 8. 6x minus 2y minus 6z equals -18. So this one is already in standard form, so we can go ahead and put this guy into the matrix. We have -6, -2, 2, -8, 3, -2, -4, and 8, 6, -2, -6, and -18. So now let's do our magic with our calculator. So we're going to enter this matrix into our calculator. So we need to go to second and matrix, move over to edit. I'm going to edit letter A again just because. This is still a 3x4, so we can just press enter twice. And now we're going to enter in these numbers. So -6, enter, -2, enter, 2, -8, and we're in row 2, 3, -2, -4, and 8, and 6, -2, -6, and -18. And make sure you press enter at the end. Quit back into your calculator screen, so second quit. We're going to do the matrix again, because now we need to get the RREF. So second matrix, go to math, all the way down on letter B to RREF. Press enter. We need to tell it which matrix we want to calculate for, so second matrix again, and we're going to get the letter A matrix. Close the parenthesis And voila. So what we have is we have 1, 0, negative 0.67, and we can't quite see everything, so we're going to go ahead and press the right arrow to let us see the full matrix, and our last number is 0. And then we're going to get the other two rows. So let's scroll back left, so we're going to use the left arrow now. So we have 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, scroll to the right, and it's a 0, and the last row is 0, 0, 0, and a 1. 0, 0, 0, and 1. So let's see what this means. So we have 1x minus 0.67z equaling 0. That's okay. We have 1y plus 1z equaling 0. That's fine too. But the bottom one's the problem. I have no x's, no y's, and no z's. So all I have is a 0 equaling a 1. Well, this bottom equation presents a problem. That's a false statement. So because we ended up with something that was false in our system, that means this has no solution. So that's how you can tell a no solution when you're working with a matrix. Make sure you practice these steps. They will come in very handy later.